Hi, welcome to Dupi Animations. So on this episode, we will be designing a simple program intro. Although I said intro, it's not just an intro because it can be used for several things, be it a promo, intro, or a breaker. So not to waste your time, let's start. But remember, more towards a promo event. Let's create a composition. Let's name it Scene 1, 1920 by 1080. Let me go something like 10 seconds. Okay. All right. So we have our first composition here. Let's right click in new, then select solid layer. Okay, white. I'm going to use this solid layer as a marker to mark the middle point of my stage. Okay. So go to the menu bar, view, then select rulers. Okay. Then bring down a ruler for the middle there. Bring a ruler so that I mark the middle. So after that, delete the solid layer. All right. Now right click in new, then select shape layer. Now go for the pen tool, then click in here. Okay. Then go and click out there. Somewhere here is okay. All right. Let me go for the converters tool, then click here so that it will straighten it. You can decide to extend it a little, so somewhere here too. Okay. So I think this is okay. Let me make it white. All right. Once you are done with that, click on the cascading arrow beside the shape layer. Come to content. Okay. Then click on the add. Then select repeater. Okay. Now on repeater, come inside the repeater. Make the copy 6. Then come here. Transform repeater. Okay. Then position go 0. All right. Rotation. Let's go 60 for the rotation. All right. So you see that because we use the line to measure, everything is in the middle there. From there, come to add, then select trim path. Trim path. Okay, so inside trim path, we will go something like 12 to reveal the middle. I think 12 is not enough, so let me go something like 15. Okay, so 15 is okay. So let's duplicate this layer, Control D to duplicate. Then the duplicated one, let's change the color to red. Okay, so now let's come to the white one. Okay, so the white one, let's come to transform shape 1. Okay, then on rotation, let's come to something like 30. Okay, so that it will come in between the middle here. Let's animate this. Okay, so to animate this, come to transform, simple transformation. Okay, so hit R on rotation, then this one to hit R on rotation. Okay, so the white one, set a key at the beginning, then something like 10 seconds, one rotation circle is okay. The red one to set a key at the beginning, then the last end 1. So one rotation circle, that's 360. You see, now you have this. All right. Now bring the timeline backwards. Now we are going to create another shape layer. Now right click in new, then select shape layer. Shape layer again. Then go for the pen tool. Okay. So with the pen tool, so the middle here, click, click, click. Okay. Keep clicking. You are drawing a shape, a polygonal shape. Then you have this. Let me take out the stroke. Then give it a feel of white. Okay. So you have something like this. Okay. If it's not perfect, just move the edges. So after this, hit S for scale. Then you scale it down. Let me fit it in. So now we have this. After this, select the 3 shape layers, then make them 3D. Now hit R or rotation. We are going to rotate on X. So let me make them 90 degrees so that it flips everything. Let me take the ruler out. Now hold the Z, then pull it down. Okay, pull everything down. So now we have our floor, the design on our floor here. Okay. Now what to do is this. Click on the cascading arrow beside the shape layer. Then come here. Geometry options. Extrusion depth. That's for the middle one. Let's go something like extrusion depth 80. Okay. Then this one's click on the cascading arrow beside this one. Geometry options. Extrusion depth, let me go something like 10 and see. Okay, so 10 is okay. This one too, let me go 10. Geometry options, 10. Now let's bring inside lights. So right click in, new, the lights. Then select point light. Okay. All right. So you see that once we bring the point light, everything looks different. Okay. Now pull the point light up. The intensity, let's go something like light options. Let's go something like 220. Let me see how intense it will be. So this is okay. Okay. The middle there, duplicate it, Control D, then hit S for scale, then scale it down to something like 60 or so. Then extrusion depth of this, the second one, 80 is not enough. So the scale, let me make it 50, then pull it up. All right, so now let's create a new composition. Let's name it video 1. All right, then let's make it something like 1280 by 720. Okay. All right, so we have this. Then right click in, new, then select solid, then make it black. Okay. Go for the masking tool, the rectangular masking tool, then click and drag to carve out a frame around your image. Okay. Then select subtract. Okay. Then after that, come to effects and presets and type CC light sweep, then apply it. Okay. Then when you come here, the light sweep width, let's go something like 200. Okay. Let's just animate it. So let's bring it to the last end here. Then hit E on effects. Then set a key on center here. Then move the timeline a bit, something like 2 seconds. Then move your sweep, go 4 seconds. Then move the sweep back 6 seconds. Move the sweep back, then 8. Then you move it back. Okay. Then 10, you go back again. So you have something like this. You have the sweep around the frame edge. All right. Now let's insert in an image. Okay, now let's come to projects. Let's bring just an image. Let me scale it down. All right. So we are done with our video 1. Now let's duplicate video 1 to have video 2. Let's open it. Then replace the image in here. Okay, let me replace the image. Let me clear this one. Then scale this, the new image down. Okay, so now we have our video frames. All right, let's close them. Now back to our scene 1. Okay, let's bring the first video on top. All right, then hit the 3D button to make it 3D. So now let's pull it up because it's 3D, it's merging with the floor there. So let's bring it up. Okay, so somewhere here is okay. Now let's insert in a camera. Right click in new, camera. Okay, 50 millimeters is okay. Right click in again, new, then bring a null object. Let's name the null object cam control. Make the null object 3D. Then map the camera to the cam control. All right. Now select the cam control, then come to effects and type separate XYZ position. Double click to apply the effects. Okay. Now we are going to use the effect to animate. So hit E on the effects to bring it down here. Click on the cascading arrow under the effects. Then position Z. Let's go in a bit. Okay. So we have this. All right. So this is our first scene. Okay. Now, 2 frames. I think 2 frames is okay. Let's set an ending key on position Z. Bring the timeline backwards, then go in. Okay, so everything disappears. So now let's see what we have. So you can make it maybe 1 second or so. 1.5 seconds. Let's see if that is also too slow. Mind you, you can decide to animate this polygon here too, so that it will also be rotating. Okay, you can decide to animate it if you want. But let's just leave it like that. Okay, now that we are done with this, what is left is, let me make this in 1 second so that it will be faster. So let's create a new solid layer. New, solid. Let's make something like the width 2000. and the height 2000. Let me make it white. Come to the masking tool, the ellipse, select the ellipse masking tool, then double click on it here. Double click for it to cut the shape of the solid layer. Okay, make it 3D, then hit R on rotation. Then on X rotation, let's go 90, then bring it down. Okay, let's bring it down. All right, I think this is okay. Okay, so let me bring it under the shapes. Now, double click on M on the keyboard, triple. Now, feather the edge. Okay, feather the edge. Then max expansion. Let's go in a bit. Then the expansion, minus 200. That's for the max expansion, minus 200. Then the feathering, let's make it something like 450. Now hit S on scale, then scale it up, blow it up. Something like 180 is okay, 180. Then you can come to effects and presets and type gradient ramp and apply it. So the dark part, and let's make it red, and let's maintain the white part. The linear ramp, let's make it redder. Let me move this side in a bit. So this is okay. So I'll leave it like this. Okay. Now what we need now is the backdrop. Let's create another composition. Let's name it bars. The width, let's go something like 4000. Then the height, let's go 2000. Okay. So something like this. So right click in new, then select shape layer. Come to the pen tool. Okay. Then click here, the last end there. Click on the last end there too. Then go for the selection tool. Move this one a bit here so that it will be in line. Okay, so this is okay. So come here, the fill of the fill, then the stroke, select white. Okay. Now let's make the stroke width 200. Okay, 200 is okay. All right. Now come inside the shape layer, click on the cascading arrow beside it, content, shape layer. Let's come to stroke. When you come to stroke, here it says here dashes. Okay, just click on the plus one to split it. Okay, so that it gives you that dash signs. All right. Now the dashes, let's increase the figure. Something like this is okay. We are going to animate the dashes by using the offsets here. Okay, so offsets, the starting point 0. Let me set a key there. Then the last end there. Let's go something like let me see, 3000. So let's leave it like this. Okay. Duplicate this one. Okay. Then move it up. Then duplicate again. Move it up. All right. The second one. Okay. The second one. Let's come to the content. Stroke. Dashes. The end here says 3000. Okay. So the beginning, let me make it 3000. 3000. Then set a key. Then the last end there, let me make it 0. So by so doing, one will be going clockwise and the other will be going anti-clockwise. You see that? Now select the middle one, duplicate it, then bring it down. So move this one down. Okay. Now the top one, you can still duplicate the top one, then move it up. Then the stroke, let's reduce the stroke. Then come to the contents, shape, stroke. The dashes, let's increase the length so that you have something like this, the longer. You can duplicate the top one, then bring it down. Okay, then come inside the last and the content, shape, all right, stroke, just flip this one. So dashes, the beginning, let's make it 3000. Then the last end there, let's go 0. So you have something like this. See that? So this, you can still manipulate and extend these things. But let's leave it like this. All right. Now let's create another composition. Let's name it reflection. Reflection. 4000 then 2000 height is okay. Let's bring a reflective image inside here. Okay. Come to effects and presets and type motion tile. Okay, then apply it. So on motion tile, output width, let's go something like 950. Then the height 950. Now mirror the edges, click it to mirror the edges. All right. So on rotation, hit R rotation, then rotate it a bit. So somewhere here is okay. Okay. Now let's animate it. Hit P for position, set a key at the beginning, then the last end there. Let's move to animate it. Okay. After this, let's create another composition. Okay, let's create another composition. Let's name it metal. 4,000, 2,000 for the size. Let's leave it to okay. All right. Now bring the bar in, then bring the reflection under. Okay. Now click on the toggle switches here. Then come to the matte, track matte, then select alpha matte bar. So from here on reflection, let's come to effects and presets and type CC Blobbilize. Okay, then double click to apply it. Okay, so the blobbiness blob layer, let's go something like, let's select bar. Okay, so that it will be mapped onto the bar world. The softness, let's go something like 10, softness 10 here. Okay, then property, let's go alpha. Then the cutaway, let me soften it. Let me make it just 3 or 2. All right, so this is okay. I see that the reflection inside there is too sharp. So let me go inside the reflection. Okay, then apply fast box blur on the reflection. Okay, so blur radius, let's go something like 12 to blur it a bit. Okay, so this is okay. Then the color, let me select something like tint, then apply it. So let me select color correction tint. Okay, all that we are going to do with the tint is maybe change the color of the bar a bit so it won't be too white. So let's see something like this. But not that. Let's go something on the blue side a bit first. Okay, so let's leave it like that. So when we come to metal here, you see that now the sharpness is blurred a bit. All right, now let's come to sim 1. So sim 1, let's bring the metal composition. Okay, let's lay it here on top. All right, so come to effects and presets and type cylinder, CC cylinder. Okay, then apply it to the metal. So you have this. So on CC cylinder, the radius, let's go something like 400. Now let's come to rotation. You see that the metal there is sharp. So let me move it to the end. Okay. So on Y rotation, let me rotate it to the end. Okay, so I'll leave it here. When we come here, inside the CC cylinder, it says here full. So I'll select inside. Okay. So the inside, let me bring it down so that it will be at the back. Okay, so you have something like this. You see how simple and clean it is? Okay, now let's duplicate the metal, then bring one up, then this one select outside. Okay, so this one, so the bottom one, the radius was 400. Now the top one, I made the radius 500. Okay, so when it comes in like this, okay, now let's animate this. So when it comes in like this, it will stay there small, something like 4 seconds. Let's set an ending key there. Okay. Then 5 seconds, it goes away. It goes away. Okay. So something like this is okay. Okay. Now what we do here is this. We rotate this. The video. Okay, we rotate it. Maybe somewhere here. It will settle somewhere here. So hit R for rotation. Then set a key on Y, rotation. Okay. Then move the timeline to the middle somewhere here. Then rotate it. Let's go 90 degrees rather. It's 90 degrees. Okay. 90. And stretch it a bit. So we have something like this. All right. See? You can select the 2 keys, then easy ease them. Easy ease. So let's open them up. Okay, let's open it up. Just see. Then it goes. Comes. Let's add the final effects. So let's come to effects and presets. Then type card wipe on transition, then apply it. So let's do this. On card wipe, let's go something like, let's change from X to Y. Then the transition width, let's go 100, right? Then the completion, first let me go 0, then set a key at the end here. Let me bring the effects, card wipe, completion 0. Let me set a key there. Then bring the timeline somewhere here, then type 50 for the transition completion. That's for the beginning. So to come like this, whilst it's rotating to reveal the image. So let's see what we have. See that? Okay. Now we are done with our scene 1. Okay. Let me create a new composition. Let me name it test 1. And the width, let me go 1500. And the height, something like 250. Okay. We are just going to write something there. Let me write it's showdown. Change the font to something like Bebas. And make it black first. So let me create a new composition. Solid. Let me make it white. Bring it under. Alright. Now come to shape layer here. The masking tool here, then select rectangular. Rounded rectangular masking tool. Then click and drag. So you have something like this. Then come to scene 1. On scene 1, just duplicate the video 1. Okay. Then hold the Alt key. Then click and drag the text 1 to replace the duplicated one. Now let me take out the effect on the text. Now on position Z, hit P, bring the image in front. Then let me scale it down. Send it to the last end there. You can decide to take out the lights. You can just come inside here. Then come to material options. Accept light, then off it. Okay. Now you can just duplicate the text here. Control D to have multiple of them, so that in case you want to change the writings, you can do that. Okay. Now let's duplicate our scene 1 to have scene 2, then open scene 2. Now in scene 2, let's do a bit of changes here. The beginning, the image came from the back. Okay. We zoom in towards the image. But this time we are going to zoom out. So let's zoom out so everything disappears. Okay. So you have something like this. But this time we are not going to rotate the image. So let's hit R, then take out the rotation off. The text tool, let's take the rotation off. Okay. Then let's replace text 1 with text 2. Hold the Alt key, then replace it. Then the video 1, 2, let's replace it with video 2. Hold the Alt key, then replace it. Okay. Click inside video 2. Then material options. Take out the lights. Accept light. Let's go off. Okay. Alright. So let's see. So this one, the text, let's scale it down small. And we can lay it under here if you want. Now on cam control, hit R for rotation. Okay. Now let's rotate on Z. Let's go negative value. So it will be rotated to this angle. Alright. So this angle is okay. So let's see. So we are done with scene 2. Now let's create a last scene whereby it will be the test. Let's duplicate scene 2 to have scene 3. Okay, so let's open scene 3. So on scene 3, rotation, okay, rotation, let's rotate it all the way up. So minus 180. So let's take out the video. So you have something like this. Now the text, let's rotate the text. So the text, this text will be the title. Okay, so let me see 180. Bring it to the middle, then scale it up. So let's see test 3. Let's hold the Alt key, then replace test 3 with test 2. Now inside test 3, let's type the ultimate showdown. Okay, then maybe we change the composition size, the height. Let's increase the height, something like 400. Then the width is something like 1000. Okay, and we have something like this and position in the middle. Select the show down alone, then scale it up. So now you can draw your, let me right click in new, solid layer, make it comp size, apply it. Okay, now let's draw our shape around it. So this is okay. Okay, so this will be our title. So let's come to the scene 3. That's all. Now let's create a new composition, 1920 by 1080. Okay, then let's name it final or main. Let's make it final and make it 20 seconds. So first let's bring scene 1, then scene 2 will follow. Okay, so scene 1 will come, then when it's going, scene 2 will come in. Okay, so from here to here, on scene 1 hit T, full opacity, then somewhere here you go 0. Okay, now scene 3, which is the final. Well, this one is also disappearing, scene 3 should be coming in. Let me set a key there, bring the timeline somewhere here, then go 0. All right, so now let's see what we have. All right, guys, I think now we are done here. So this is our final work. Okay, nice. You can decide to lay down a backdrop, or it can be particle, or just right click new solid. Okay, then lay it under. Then maybe come to effects and presets and type ramp. Let me flip it. All right, then the top there, let me make it a bit lighter. Okay, so a simple backdrop like this would do. Okay, if you want to add lights, let me come. You can decide to maybe add a bit of light ray. Okay, right clicking new, then solid layer, white. Let me bring it on top here. Then let me type fractal noise, then apply it. Okay, now come to effects and presets and type CC light rays. Okay, so with this here, instead of add, let's set it to none. Okay, so with none, you see that it's up there in the sky. Then let me see radius. Let me increase the radius a bit. The intensity, let's increase it up. Okay, so let me see here. Let me make it. Let me see screen. Okay, so screen is okay. Let me move it up. See that? So somewhere here is okay. So something like this is okay. You can decide to add 4 color gradients style to it, but let's just leave it like this. It's taking too long. So let's see what we have. Okay. You can decide to animate the light so that when it comes, let me see, the ray, hit E for ray, then center. By the time it reaches here, let me put a bit of glimmer on it so it will go somewhere here. And by the time it gets here, move it back in line. So now let's see. You see? All right, guys. Thank you for staying with me till now. All right, please kindly like, subscribe, and comment. All right, see you next time.